welcome to another Obcast. I meant to have this one out on the 1st, but due to slight inconveniences, and when I mean slight inconveniences, what I mean is the other day I sat next to my radio and listened to music and forgot to record this. So yeah, that's why we're getting it a little bit later this time around. Anyway, let's talk about group projects. Group projects are normally hated and despised, but sometimes they can be good. So I thought I'd tell 3 stories of times where they were good. That are quite epic, as I might say myself. Most of these don't even count as school projects, and I know we didn't do any research and stuff, which I have done those before. Those are not fun. Those are the opposite of fun, which is not fun. But I still like these. I think they technically count. In, I think it was 5th grade? Yeah, 5th grade. In social studies, we had to do this thing where we talked about 9 places in each region of the U.S. One of them was the Midwest, and one of them was about Detroit. In each of these 3 places, we would have to do an activity. So, I'll just take this one, for example. I think the 3rd place we visited was, I don't know, what's something in the Midwest? I can't think of anything. I think it was, Mount Rushmore or something. I don't care. And then we did an activity. The 9th one was we had to construct a mall for, what would appeal to Midwesterners. And then the last one, or the middle one, was we had to draw a car, and whoever got to, 71, our team had to do it quick. And what I've learned over the years, you've probably known that I kind of have a deep likeness for cars. If you haven't figured that out yet, you probably should have. I made, I think it's 4 car reviews now, and many other, car-related videos. So, I can't believe you didn't know that, but I do. And I didn't know it at the time, but, things that we were doing to those is the same thing that Ford actually did then. What they did was they took, just the body of a Model T, and we had to draw the tires, the headlamps, the steering wheel, stuff like that. I got the headlamps job, which was pretty simple. I seen them before. Just draw a lip and stuff like that. I should have drawn that for the cube, but instead I drew the papers that they were on. Silly me. Should have done that one to show what I did. But anyway, we did it, and I think we got them done in 5 minutes. That means it took us to do one every 10 seconds, I believe. There were 6 people. But all I was saying was what we did then was what Ford did now, is we took the littlest amount of effort. The person who was drawing the wheels, I think it was the front wheels, I still know him pretty well to this day, and she started at 12 spoke, then went to 8 spoke, and then at the end of the time they went to 6 spoke. We went a massive decline, downward spiral, if you will, on that. There's many more stories I can tell from that. We even had to write a song for one. It was for the western part. We had to write a song. Now, when we did this, we were in table groups. That first time, it consisted of a few people that I knew, and another person I also knew pretty well, but it was through family ties. So, I knew all the people at that time. But the other time was just me, 2 twins, and somebody I just knew for 3 months at that point, now that I kind of started to grow a friendship with. So, we had to write a song, and each of the songs had to be up, and each table had to write a song about one thing. It was we had to write a blues song about a silver miner in Denver, Colorado in the 1890s. Now, very specific, but we had to do it. So we ended up doing it, and we actually did a good job. We didn't do any of that bullcrap thing saying, oh, it can be free verse. No, we didn't use free verse. We used actual poetic rhyming. And also, I don't care. If you actually think free verse is poetry, you are wrong. Poetry needs to have rhythm, needs to have flow. Saying, Gary Soto out here, Gary Soto and his stupid odes and his stupid oranges, those are not poems. Those are stories. So stop calling yourself a poet. You are a children's literature writer. Just do what you're meant to do. So yeah, that's the last one. Another story from 5th grade. Let's talk about Kahoots this time. I think we all know what they are, but in case you're just out of the loop, a Kahoot is like a virtual quiz thing. They were like, we did them every Friday during COVID. Can't even say COVID now, as like YouTube's rules changed about that. I don't know. But again, in 5th grade, science this time around, they would pair us up with 2 people. Now, what I would do was I would actually listen. While other people like trading cards and stuff, I'd actually listen, and whoever we did at least got in the top 3. And I'd always be picked for the same person that I was talking about earlier about the Spoka deal. We always got paired together and won. Won all the time. Like, won. We have like a secret code. So most people, when you yell 1, 2, 3, 4, they might go horizontal, like normal people, but we went counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So like the top right one would be 1, the top left one would be 2, the bottom left one would be 3, and the bottom right one would be 4. Instead of the bottom left one, the top left one would be 1, and the top right one would be 2. You get what I mean. And we did that so we could also be right, but we could confuse people. And that's what did it. And I did that all the time. Again, another time, and it was like 6th this time around, we were doing a Kahoot, and it was reviewing science for physics. And another thing we did was we yelled the wrong answer, and I started being known for it. So it eventually became a joke, so I made my own excuses. Like, one time, it was like, what is milk? What is milk? Is milk a what do you call... It was like, what is a certain substance? I think it was like gasoline. Is it a molecule, an element, or an atom? And I said, no, it was an atom of some sort. And I said, no, it's not an atom, because the last 75 years of life has been faked. It is actually 1943, and we can only see molecules, or something like that. It was very funny, and the whole class laughed, and the teacher said that was the best excuse he's ever heard in his entire life. It was a 10 out of 10 joke in my eyes, and I still think it's quite funny to this day. But anyway, I did that, so instead of people thinking that, I'd say the right answer, and people will think it would be wrong and lose. That's my tactics. If you're a brave warrior in this whole, like, Kahoot thing, just take my rules. I've won at least 3 dozen times on those things. Came on the podium at least 50. Take me. I am a pure Kahoot veteran. Anyway, that's all I gotta do for group projects. I'll join you in 2 weeks for the next Obcast, where I talk about how, I don't know. But also I want to talk about this. This is supposed to be a joke, and I thought it was really funny, and I don't want to waste jokes. So, the other day, why I haven't been able to upload Obcasts is because, actually, I tried to out Pizza the Hut, and I've been on the run for the police, and they caught me